my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today I'm delighted to show you a piece that I created that I call the Manda-Leaf shawl. And of course, it's a play on words because I love wordplay. It is sort of like a mandala. It starts from the center, grows out in a really beautiful leaf motif. So it's a mandala, it's a leaf, it's a Manda-Leaf. Now, I like to think of this as a shawl. I love the idea of circular shawls. However, you could, of course, use this as a lap blanket if you're so inclined, or you could use this as a tablecloth, really, what have you. But the point is that it is the Manda-Leaf. It's the best I could think of it. I think it's kind of cute. So, this video, by the way, is sponsored by Lion Brand. Thank you so very much, Lion Brand. They did provide me with the yarn. This is Pound of Love in the colorway of Succulent. And for today's tutorial, we're going to be using Pound of Love in the colorway of Maize, as in corn. And I've never used this colorway before, so I'm very excited. It has a really nice, rich, golden quality to it. So I thought it'd be perfect for whether it's spring leaves or the changing of leaves in the autumn, my favorite time of year. Absolutely perfect. So for those of you that don't know, Pound of Love, it is 16 ounces, a great amount of yardage, 1,020 yards. It is a medium weight of 4, and it recommends a hook size of J, although for today, we're going to be using a size I for the sake of keeping the stitches nice and neat and tidy. So we're going to use a size I, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook. Now, as far as the dimensions of this piece, from one side to the other of the circle, the diameter, it is approximately 50 inches. Approximately, okay? Not the circumference, but the diameter. That being said, if you want to make it smaller, I would suggest using a thinner weight of yarn and a smaller sized hook. If you want to make it bigger, use thicker yarn and a bigger gauge hook, one that corresponds with the other based on your gauge. That being said, I think that this is going to be a fun series. This is definitely going to be more than one video because every round is different. There isn't a set repeat. And let me tell you, I had to do a lot of frogging and a lot of experimenting and tweaking and fiddling around with the increases and so forth so that it will lay flat. Yes, that was one of my prerequisites for myself when I designed this piece. I wanted it to lay flat, and it does. So, that being said, let's get started with the beginning of the Manda-Leaf shawl. Alrighty. Round 1. First things first, going to start with a slip knot. And a chaining up of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then slip stitch into the first chain for a ring. Okay, now for the first round, we're going to start with the base, which is 12 double crochets with chain 1 spaces in between. So that being said, we're going to do a chaining up of 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, because that's going to act as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. So continue on with a double crochet, chain 1, and double, and chain 1, and double, chain 1, and double, chain 1, and double. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 halfway there. Chain 1. That's 7. Chain 1. And that's 8. Chain 1. That's 9. Chain 1. Whoa. And here is 10. Chain 1. 11. Chain 1. And this should be 12. Let's just double check. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Okay. Then finish up round 1 with a chain 1 and a slip stitch to the 3rd chain from the bottom to complete the round. There we go. And then, of course, you can cinch your tail and sew in the end, and voila. Alrighty. Okay, so for round 2, we're going to start with a chaining up of 6, which is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 3 space, and we're going to work our way around in that fashion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then double crochet into the next double crochet, and chain 3, double into the next double, chain 3, double into the next, chain 3, double into the next, and so forth for the rest of this round. Initially, it's really quite simple, but like I said, later on, the rules are going to change a little bit. Let me just undo this and restart it. Yeah, the rules are going to change a little bit in that there will be a constant state of symmetry and order. However, there isn't a set pattern as far as repeat rows 5 through 12 or something like that. No, 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 no. It does keep changing, which I found to be difficult, yet very rewarding. So hopefully you'll be in this with me for the long haul, because we have quite a few rounds to get through together. Ooh, here we go. So yeah, this will in essence be a crochet along. Once we get to the larger rounds, I'm not going to do the entire round on camera, but definitely enough for you to understand how the rest of the round will proceed. Okay, so then to finish up the round, chain 3, and then into the 3rd chain from the bottom, slip stitch, and shaboom. Ta-dam! Okay, so that is round 2. Okay, so for round 3, we're going to start in with the foundation of the first leaves of the shawl. So to begin with, chain 3, and then into the same stitch down here, 2 more double crochets for a total of 3 to begin our first leaf. Okay, then chain 3 and double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, and then into the next double crochet, 3 double crochets. So we're doing alternates here. There we go. Chain 3, a double crochet into the next, chain 3, and then 3 into the next. And another thing that I really wanted to keep consistent was the chain 3 spaces so that it wasn't, chain 2 in this round and chain 5 in that round. No, that's another thing that I wanted. As far as the chain spaces, I wanted to keep those very consistent, which means in other areas I had to do some tweaking, but the distance between the spines and the leaves, I wanted that to be consistent. But you'll see what I mean as we go on. So I did my double crochet here, which means I need 3 in this one. Then chain 3, and then double into the next, chain 3, and then 3 into the next one, there we go, chain 3, 1 into the next, chain 3, 3 into the next, chain 3, 1 into the next, which happens to be the last actually. So chain 3, and then slip stitch into the top 3rd chain of our first double crochet, like so. And there you go. So you should have at this point 6 clusters. So starting at the top, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 clusters. All right, and that is the end of round 3. Okay. All right, so for round 4, we need to increase our leaves, but we're only going to be doing it on either side. So start by chaining up 3, and into that first stitch, do a double crochet so that we're increasing it. And then a double crochet into the next, and then 2 double crochets into the third. So we're going from 3 to a total of 5 double crochets. And then keeping consistent, chain 3, double crochet into the next, chain 3, 2 double crochets into the first, one into the second, and then 2 in the third. Okay, pull out a little bit more yarn, and chain 3, double crochet into the next, chain 3, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and 2 in the third. Okay, so basically just keep on going in this fashion where if you have one double crochet, just do the one double crochet. If you have a cluster, 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, so that you're growing from 3 to 5, and do this all the way around. So this would be a double, an increase, a double, an increase, double, increase, double. Then, after you do your last double crochet here, chain 3, and slip stitch into the top third chain of that first double crochet, and that will be the end of round 4 for you. I'm going to finish the rest of this one off camera, and I will meet back up with you. Alrighty. Round 5. Okay, so round 5 is going to be essentially the same thing as round 4, except we're going to have more double crochets for the clusters, for the leaves. So start by chaining up 3 and double crochet into the first stitch. But yeah, this increase is going to be very reminiscent of the last round. So it's 2 in the first, then 3 regular double crochets, nothing fancy. And then 2 in the last. So we went from 3 to 5 to a total of 7 double crochets for our leaves. Then chain 3, double crochet into the next, chain 3, and do it again. And deal with knots and tangles as they come into play, which they do, don't they? That's okay. No harm, no foul. Okay, so I got my double, I got my chain 3. All right, so 2 double crochets into the first, and then 3 regular double crochets, 1 in each. And then 2 into the last. Chain 3, double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 3, and then 2 double crochets into the first, and then 1 in each for the next 3 stitches. And then 2 into the last. All right, so just keep on keeping on in this exact same format. So then it would be chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, do your increase, 2 in the first, 3 regular ones, 2 in the last, chain 3, double crochet, etc., all the way around until you reach the beginning where you would do a grouping, a chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, slip stitch to the top third chain of the first double crochet, and that will conclude round 5. All right, I'll see you in a bit. Okay, round 6 has a bit of a variation, and you'll see what I mean. So we're going to start by chaining up 3, but we're not going to do an additional double crochet. Actually, no, we're going to have this going just straight up. So it's just going to be 1 double crochet for each. in this case. So we're going to maintain the count of 2, 4, and 7. Okay, so I got our first one. Double crochet into the next, and each across. And then we're going to incorporate the beginnings of a new leaf. Yes. So chain 3, and then into this lonely little double crochet that's been so neglected. Well, he's now going to blossom forth with 3 double crochets into this stitch. There we are. So we got the beginnings of something. Chain 3, and then again, 1 in each. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Chain 3, and then 3 double crochets into the next stitch. All right, so that is how you're going to continue doing the rest of this round. You're going to maintain the stitch count for our pre-existing leaves, and then where we had a double crochet, we're creating 3 new double crochets. So just keep going all the way around in this fashion. And then after maintaining the 7 double crochets in here, chaining 3, doing 3 double crochets in here, chain 3, and do a slip stitch to that top 3rd chain right there to complete round 6. All right, and I will meet back up with you for the next round. Okay, and the changes keep happening with round 7. Okay, so last we left off, we did our 3 double crochets, chain 3, and then a slip stitch. Well, we need to decrease this. So, that being said, slip stitch into the next double crochet, like so. Then chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and double crochet into the next 4 double crochets. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty. And then chain 3. Thank you. And we need to do a significant increase to the beginning of this leaf. It's going to be a little bit different than the last one. So after chaining 3 into the first stitch, 2 doubles, and then into the second stitch, 3 doubles. Yeah, I'm breaking out the big guns here. Okay, and then in the last stitch, 2 doubles. All right, so we have a total of 2, 4, and 7 stitches. And then over here, we've got a total of 5. So keep on keeping on. So going to chain 3. And we're going to skip the first double crochet, go into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, chain 3, 2 doubles into the first, three into the second, and then 2 into the third. Okay, chain 3, skip the first double, going into the next 5 stitches with double crochets. That's 3, 4, and 5. Chain 3. And then skipping right off to this next cluster, 2 doubles into the first. Three into the next. Nope. There we are. And then 2 into the last. All right, so keep on keeping on in this fashion by decreasing the 7 down to 5 and the 3 up to 7 with chain 3 spaces in between. Just scooch your way all the way around and finish up by doing your 7 to 5, chain 3, 3 to 7, chain 3, and slip stitch to the top third chain of that first double crochet. All right, I'll meet back up with you. Okay, so for round 8, we're going to continue the theme of shrinkage and growth simultaneously. So again, we did our grouping, a chaining of 3, and a slip stitch. Well, again, slip stitch into the next stitch because we have to shrink this leaf down further. So chain up 3 and then double crochet into the next 2 stitches for a total of 3. There and there. Okay. Now, this one, this leaf, we need to have it grow out again quite a bit. So chain 3. Going to start with 2 double crochets into the first stitch. Okay, then 2 regular double crochets, 1 in each. So we have an increase on this side. Now we also need an increase in the middle. So into the next stitch, the middle of that trio, 3 double crochets. Now it seems a bit extreme, but the reason why we're doing this is because not only do we need to have the leaves grow and shrink, we also need to compensate for the fact that the circle, the circumference, is getting bigger as well. So that is why the increase is, more significant than with the first leaf. Okay, so now 2 regular double crochets, 1 in each. And then into the last stitch, 2 double crochets. So we start with an increase. We've got an increase in the middle and at the following end. So we now have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 double crochets. Alrighty, so from here, chain 3, skip the first double, go into the next 3 stitches with double crochets. Chain 3, and then again, go into this first stitch with 2 doubles. Then a stitch in each of the next 2, just 1 in each. And then 3 doubles into the next. Okay, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. And then 2 into the last. Okay, let's do one more. Chain 3, skip the first, go into the next 3. Okay, chain 3 again, into the first, 2 doubles, one in each for the next 2 stitches. 3 into the next. Okay, 1 in each for the next 2. And then 2 into the last. Alrighty, so that being said, continue on in this fashion. Chain 3, shrink it down to 3 stitches, chain 3, build it up to 11, so on and so forth until you do your increase with this last grouping here, chain 3, and slip stitch to the top 3rd chain of this first double, and I will meet back up with you for the next round. Okay, round 9. So again, we're going to need to slip stitch into the next stitch, just as we had done previously. So we're right smack dab in the middle. And to start off with, actually, we're going to crochet, we're going to chain stitch a total of 1, 2, 3, and then an additional 3, 4, 5, 6. So chaining up 6, because this is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 3 space. So into the first double, 2 double crochets, because we still need to grow that one outwards, and then going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 regular double crochets, and then again we're going to increase that middle one out of the trio. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 3 doubles into that next one. 2 and 3, then 4 regular double crochets, 1 in each into the next 4 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 into the last stitch. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so we now have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. My goodness. Okay, so from here, keep on keeping on by chaining 3. Skip that first double going into the next with a double crochet. And then chain 3 again. And then going into the first one with 2 doubles. Okay. Double into each of the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Then 3 into the middle of that trio. 2 and 3. 4 regulars. Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 into the last. Okay, so I'm going to keep on keeping on in this fashion all the way around. And when I get up to the end, I'm going to show you the last join because it can be a little bit tricky as far as figuring out, all right, where exactly do I go into with this chain? Not to worry, I will be right back as soon as I'm done with this cluster here, this leaf. All right, be right back. Okay, so to finish up round 9, I just did my last large leaf section, and now I've got to do the join. So I still need to do my chaining of 3. Okay, now there are 2 ways that you can go about this. You can go from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, or make sure that you have 1, 2, 3 chains available for your chain 3 space. So you could go either 4th chain from the top or 3rd chain from the bottom. Either way will work just fine, but you do want to go into the actual chain stitch with your slip stitch. Either way. And ta-da! There you go. Lickety splickety. And we have made some really great progress today, I think. Yes, we have. We have a nice, good foundation for our Manda-Leaf shawl. And I hope you're enjoying the series so far because we're going to wrap it up for today. But please do stay tuned because there is more to come because this is a crochet along after all. So thank you for watching. If you liked it, give a little thumbs up button down below. Again, a very big thank you to Lion Brand for sponsoring this series. And thank you for watching. Until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay stitching, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay safe. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.